another fantastic weekend of Formula One racing here on the EGL Extreme Gaming League. I'm Tipsy Bob, and joining me on the mic is my trusty sidekick and my good friend, Dad Pants. Covering all the action today, we're going to be covering everywhere from Monaco, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain, all across the world, all across the country. We have a full grid lined up, some of the best talent around the world. We have plucked them from all corners of the earth to give you some of the greatest racing experience viewing footage you'll ever see in your lifetime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGL. There we go, and all the cars are all lining up on the grid. They're all getting ready. The drivers will be focusing on their first corner. Are they going to take it? What are they going to do? Is they going to go deep? Are they going to go? Who knows? Let's break down and away we go! DRS is still active, and if Timo wants to get this moved on, he's gonna need to use this DRS zone, because I have a feeling... Oh no, Timo, cancel the crusher in the traction zone! The Prix command up and another overtake on 23 trademark. This is round 3.
And Timo, our coach. Oh, it's the pit! Oh no! Oh my god, this so sorry, control myself. So Timo.
So what we gotta do so they can start at the back together again, just like Timo likes it.
How many times? Did you see how many times Timo tried to get into the pit?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're joining us for another race at Austria. This is 2SRL Tier 1. You got myself on the comms with Icewind. So we're just getting set up for the lobby here. So I think we're about to, yeah, the timer's up there. But yeah, Icewind, we have had a fun week of races at Austria. It is a tough track to crack, and we're about to see the best in 2SRL go for it. So what are you expecting today?
Tough racing at the front. We have a lot of fast people here today, and good evening to everybody, by the way. Hugo, Danny, Tom Idiot, Alex Burbo, and whoever else I forgot there. We're about to see some blistering times in a bit.
Yes, this is definitely the cream of the crop. And what are you looking at?
It's raining. It's heavy rain.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. The rain has been a big factor this week, and it's really heavy out there. I haven't seen a session with this heavy rain. I wonder if the race is wet or dry. That'd be interesting if we have any.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can get on maybe some report from Tipsy Bob or somebody in the session.
Yeah, that would be great to get some intel. But look at these conditions. Well, 15 drivers on track today. Obviously, they will be setting some full wet laps here, so treacherous conditions, and it is a very fast. It's a short track, but it's a very, very fast track, and these conditions just, yeah, they're going to test these drivers to the absolute limit. So I'm just having a look here. I think everybody's in the garage right now, just coming to terms with how wet it is, but hopefully we'll see someone out on track pretty soon. Meanwhile,
Yeah, I think I haven't done a wet quali session, but you have, right? Earlier in the week.
yeah, I think there's been a few wet. I don't know, but yeah, I think there was a full wet session. But yeah, it's just really about getting out there and getting some track time, getting your confidence, because obviously, yeah, every one of these drivers, they don't know the braking points right now are going to be a bit different than usual, and yeah, the throttle control is going to be a big focus here, as there's a lot of heavy braking zones and a lot of yeah, slow, like the turn 3 corner.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's actually a hairpin, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Hairpin.
So actually, I think I'm gonna turn you up a wee bit, Ice, because I think
All right. Yep.
you're quite low on my side. So bear with
Just
us.
I have just a very enthusiastic Tipsy Bob telling me that it's heavy rain quali and damp race with light rain.
Ooh, interesting.
And he's saying that he's gonna win this one or something along the lines of that.
Well, that would be a turn up for the books, but yes, we'd love to see it. We'd love to see it. So,
Picking up some idiot, I think, is the first car there on track.
guys in chat, sorry guys, I just gotta say, guys in chat, if you can let us know about the audio levels, if they're okay between me and I.
Oh yeah, we have the studio view on Chief, by the way. You might wanna.
This is old
that
man.
Change to the actual stream.
Old man comms here. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Audio is good as well. So. Oh yeah, that looks better.
Yep, so here we are in this session, and I've got some idiot. I'm going to ride on board with him. He's on his outlap, but just come around the final 2 corners. The start is hot run, and he has these conditions. Like, look at that rain coming down. That's crazy.
Racing line to be seen either. Of course, nobody has really run out there yet, so some idiot is clearing the way, so to speak. One instantly invalid for him in turn 1. He goes a little wide on the curb. Alex Burbo behind him, though, does not invalidate his lap.
Yeah, I mean, the track limits are pretty severe in this track, but in wet conditions I found it's a bit more forgiving. So I was surprised to see some idiot, even though he did go wide there, he did invalidate the lap.
Just a tiny bit wide, like that track limits in turn 1. Sometimes you get away with it if you run a little bit more wide than that. But then if you go just a millimeter wide like that, it's like instant invalidation. So... yeah, I'm following Alex here, who is just behind some idiot on track, and probably the first guy to actually set a time on the board if he doesn't invalidate in these last 3 corners. Out of turn 8, that it's very treacherous out there with traction, it looks like.
I know you're willing the car to go faster. You're trying to be brave on the throttle, but you just know that if you go over the limit, just even a hair, like by a small fraction, the car will spit out. Alex Burbo 114.444. So that's the time to beat right now. We've got a bunch of guys on track at the minute. Timo in a Ferrari, so I think that's a move, isn't it? That's his team switch.
Yep. That's right, Timo has moved from Renault to Ferrari. I think he did it already in the last race, so Hugo goes P1 with a 14 flat. Danny 14.4 third. And wow, 14.1 into second, so we're seeing some times on the board now.
Yeah, I'm just doing a wee bit of technical stuff in the background here, just getting the audio levels corrected.
Alright. Keeping an eye here. Some idiot on a lap here. 50.5 into the middle sector, and I think it might be ooh, and all wrong on the exit of 8, but still keeps it on track, and let's see what some idiot can do. I think he one of the better drivers to handle the rain conditions, and then just a charge to a line, and he does a 13.3.
Nice.
Goes on provisional pole pretty clearly.
Yeah, and I saw Timo coming out of turn 1 there, getting a big bit of a death wiggle on. He managed to keep it together. He's still not a valid lap, but that first that first turn can really make or break a lap. So I imagine he's got a lot of time to make up here. He does have a
6
15.
tenths up at this time as well.
Oh, he's 6 times out. He must have done that in his first run as well then.
And Danny goes P2. 13.9 for Danny.
Yeah, good lap here. We're gonna see, hopefully a bit of a mix-up here, you know, because some guys do excel in the wet conditions. I've seen the guys in the chat as well. Game is a bit quiet. I have turned it up there, so hopefully that's a bit better for you guys.
Just trying to check out all these position swaps there, and it seems to be raining even heavier at the moment if I'm looking at this. So
yeah, the rain's it's slightly diagonal now, which is not a good thing.
Yeah, and Alex Burbo, I think, is still going for it. I wonder if he's actually up on his time. I didn't catch that second delta for him. He's about to come to the main straight, and no, I think he's way down, isn't he? Well, way down, 2 tenths, but still down on his time. Copy also trying to get power down out of turn 4, and yeah, I think he's decided to give up on that one.
Yeah, these are some of the wettest conditions I've ever seen actually in the game. It looks absolutely treacherous.
Yeah, following Fox here, who has yet to set a time on the board, and he's just struggling massively in these conditions, and he's and just no turning in the car at all. Probably sets a time on the board, but it's gonna be something like a 1:33, I think, 1:32, 1:31.7. So that's a little bit off the pace, 20 seconds or so.
Just slightly, yeah. But it's a time on the board at least, and he gets it wrong coming out of turn 1 there. So yeah, you can just see how difficult these situations or these race conditions are.
I'm just trying to see, like, nobody is really up on his time. Pixel is 2 tenths up on his 15.8, and he just completely runs wide there, so I think that's the end of his lap. Yeah, I wonder if these conditions are like even, it looks like it's even worse than it was when we started. And looks like everybody is just struggling massively out there. Jesse trying to survive on his out lap.
Yeah, so there's 4 drivers who have yet to put a time on the board. So if that's right, and these conditions are getting worse, we will see those guys struggle to get in the top 10 here.
Trying to see who is out there on a lap. I think Hugo is starting a lap, and it would be interesting to see what Hugo can do here. Very, very fast guy in this year's game. Or yeah, in general I would say actually, but just really found his groove in this game, especially. There we go, Hugo starts his run toward, and he's 8 tenths down in sector 1.
Wow.
I wonder if these conditions are just,
I think so, yeah, because he's like tiptoeing around the corners here. Absolutely no confidence on the throttle whatsoever. It's
just pouring down at the moment, and those guys who have yet to set a time, I wonder if they can even do a time here at this point. So it's, yeah, Jesse, I'm just following Jesse here, just really struggling to get anywhere in turn 4. Hugo is actually ahead of him on track. Is that Hugo? Yeah, and Hugo just absolutely crawling as well, 3.6 seconds down on his time. So I wonder if this is kind of already the starting grid here.
Yeah, I think so. Just these back guys have to get a time on the board to kind of sort out the back of the grid, but yeah, I think that's it. We're probably going to see a lot of guys retiring pretty soon as well if this continues.
Like on the onboard cameras, and Jesse, oh no, he spins completely on the main straight, goes across the line and sets a 120.7 spinning across the line actually. Oh. It is absolutely wet out there. I've never seen it like this before.
Yeah, Noel and Tipsy Bob choosing not to go out at all, so maybe they were a bit late on the getting out and decided these conditions are just getting worse. There's no point going out. I'll just be last anyway. But maybe they could get themselves a few positions, but I don't know.
Hugo's still out there trying, but he's once again 7/10 down in Sector 1 alone, so the conditions I think are impossible at the moment. So you basically had that 1 or 2 runs at the start of the session, and now it's just raining too much for any of this to get better. Hugo 2.2 seconds down into Sector 2. So
Oh yeah, and Valdez
think,
there just runs wide.
probably gonna pit, or maybe not. Yeah, he's gonna go into the pit lane, yes. It's just clearly too wet out there to really improve.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
Yeah, it's... Oh, and there's somebody spinning around. That's Pixel on the main straight. Yeah, just like 4 cars out there on the truck at the moment, and yeah, Jesse also pitting.
yeah, Alex Marvel about to start a lap here, so I'm just following him as he makes his way through the final 2 corners, and he's super tentative on the inputs there, but gets the pedal to the metal as he straightens up, and I saw a bit of Jesse's front wing lying at the side of the road there, but this first corner, yes, usually take a lot of curb there, but you would absolutely have to avoid that in these conditions because it will unsettle the car and throw you out wide. But I mean, in these conditions that looked pretty good, but we'll see. Yeah, he's +1. Yeah, plus a 10th, so not too bad from Alex Burbo here. It's showing that
maybe it's raining a little bit less now. Looks like that maybe, so the conditions might be improving a little bit. And I guess maybe that's what the guys are waiting for at the pits.
Yeah, I think this Sector 2 will really dictate whether the conditions are improving, because it's quite a technical, well, the more technical sector out of the 3 of them. Not too bad, yeah, tentative on the power as you'd expect. Trying to avoid the curbs as much as you would.
A little bit up even.
Oh, nice. So there is time to be found in this. And Hugo on inters in the pits. Is he considering going out on inters right now?
Could it really dry up toward the end of the session or something? That's we don't know the exact forecast here in the commentary booth, so...
Yeah, I just saw Hugo enters on there briefly, but he's back to wets there, so he's...
Alex Burbo improves, but it's not enough to jump Hugo.
Yeah, he's getting braver in turn 1 as well, so there is time to be found here. I think he might be up in Sector 1 already, just based on that turn 1 cut.
He's 5/10 up, wow.
Yeah,
so the conditions have rapidly improved, actually.
Yeah, and he's getting braver as well, as you can see that turn 1 cut. That turn 2 /3. I may refer to it as turn 2, but it is technically turn 3. That's where you're going to gain a lot of time or lose a lot of time, because the traction, as you know, out of that corner is, yeah, you just want to get on the power as soon as possible. But even in dry conditions, you see people spin out there all the time, so just add water and we'll probably get some fireworks here.
5/10 up, so not looking too bad for Alex Burbo, actually. He's looking to go up to P2 possibly here. Or even up to P1 if he really nails this final sector, we'll see. Pretty nice entry into the penultimate corner, and then just the final corner to go, and then tentatively trying to, well, actually he just slams the throttle and gets traction there and goes P1.
Wow.
13.2.
Yeah, and that's going to send a message out to everybody who's in the pits right now. They're going to be like, right, let's go. Get these wets on quick. I got to get some laps in. Because Alex has just proved that you can gain time. And he's actually got pole position. So some idiot enters. I wonder if they're just doing that thing.
Well.
Yeah, are they maybe just checking to see the intervals? Because you can see the, you know, the improvements there. But some idiot's out of the pits, I believe, is he? Yep, he's out of the pits on enters. So he's going for it.
Tipsy going across the line as well to set his first time, and it goes up to P8. Not too bad from Tipsy. 14.5. Just behind Copy there on the full wets.
Good job from Tipsy Bob. Yeah, so it paid off waiting in the pits there and just being patient. Could have went either way, but worked out for him in the end. He's way off on his second lap though, guys.
Still definitely raining quite hard, so it's interesting to see what these guys on the inters can actually do here. Some idiot, I think, is the first guy out there on those.
I think WoW actually is he's on
full wets.
Oh yeah, he's on full wets. You're right.
And that's invalid for the next lap as well for him. Just a little wide in the final corner, but yeah, I'm more interested in what some idiot can do.
Yeah, he's just
on
let two
those
cars
inters.
pass there just to get himself some air. So he's about to start his hot run. Keeping the tires warmed up, bit of weaving going on, but here we go. He's going to launch it for these final two corners. And try to get pole position back.
2 attempts here, basically this and the next lap. We'll see what he can do.
I gotta say, I don't think this is enter-friendly, these conditions, but...
Definitely doesn't look like that, but we'll see what the clock thinks about that in just a few seconds, I guess.
Yeah, turn 1 looked nice and tidy there.
And there we go, 1 tenths down, 1.5 tenths down.
Yeah.
Just really tentative on power out of turn 3 there.
And just 3 cars in the pits currently, so we're going to see a lot of lap times going here. Whether these guys
Hugo
can improve
also
or
3
not.
tenths down on his time, Chief.
Yeah, so I guess they're banking on it being faster on this final run, but I don't know. It's going to be very tight, isn't it?
And they might actually, I'm not entirely sure, they might have even 2 laps here because we have the spectator bug with the time, and we don't know exactly how much time there is left, but it's like about 1 minute more than we see.
Did I just see Triton go P3
Triton
there?
goes up to P3.
Yeah, he's on
wow.
wets. Nice lap from Triton. Puts himself on the second row of the grid as it stands.
Yeah, and I think there's still time to start because Tipsy Bob goes out again on the full wets.
Right, okay. Well, Simity, it was only +2. So maybe these enters are coming towards him, we'll see, in his first sector time as he heads down to turn
Williams
2.
going very slow there, it's copy.
Oh,
yeah, it's just getting out of the way.
And we've got this new guy, ORL
Whoa!
113 flat on wets.
We're gonna call him Kane, I think that's what he's called on Discord, I believe, so I'm not even gonna try to call him CNWSTN. I just did better, yeah. I'm gonna call him Kane.
Yeah, let's call him Ken, yes.
Wow goes P4 as well, 13.6. Alex Burbo retires from the session, so he thinks he can't improve, or did he? He's just retired on the straight there.
Somebody is almost 4 tenths up on his time in sector 2. Is this going to be pole position here? I'm going to ride on board with him for the final 2 corners. He has got Timo ahead of him, but I think it's enough of a gap not to hold him up too much. Ooh, and nice line for the final 2 corners. Is it going to be enough? It is indeed. It's more than enough. At 12.4, so the enters were the right choice. So who else is on a lap on enters? I've got Danny Coe.
He's coming across the line now, and let's see what he can do. It's not going to be too much. It's 13.3 for Hugo. Improvement, but only 4th.
Oh, Danny Coe, he got caught off guard there with a... yeah,
red.
I think it was the other Force India who was at... I'm not sure.
The new guy, Kane, but I think he was already... He's just retired on track. We just talked about this earlier today.
Yeah, Danny's not going to be too happy about that. But who else is on the lap on these enters? Copy is still on a lap. Jesse as well.
Tipsy as well. Tipsy is up on his time. He's on the full wets, but just marginally 18 1,000ths of a second up. Oh, and Tipsy loses it out of turn 8.
Yeah, that's Tipsy's qualifying session over. But Copy is in sector 2. He's plus 2 tenths on his time right now. Is he going to be able to improve?
Marginally up now.
Yeah, it's going to be down to this last sector.
Copy yesterday also struggling a little bit in these wet conditions in the SLR race, so maybe his setup isn't just giving him the best of confidence here, but let's see what he can do through the final sector and then just to charge toward the line. I think he's got to improve, but how much?
No.
I think he stays where he did with that, so...
Yeah, and Jesse got P6 there in the end.
Oh wow, that's out of nowhere. Jesse in the middle of that pack now. That's gonna be interesting for Jesse in the race.
Yeah, so
great lap from Jesse.
Some guys able to get the enters to work for them, and yeah, we've got a mix up in the grid here. It's not what you usually see. You got Jesse up there, Triton P7 qualifying, and of course the new guy Ken as well.
Noel is going out of the pits now. But
Okay.
that doesn't really make sense much, does it?
No, I don't think. I think you've got like 50 seconds over the timer that we see. Oh, and he
And
goes
he's
straight
hit the
into the
wall.
pit exit.
Oh no.
I shouldn't laugh, but I mean, I've done that myself before. It's easy done. Even in the dry.
So Noel. Oh, and apparently we have now Nicolas Latifi, Pierre Gasly, Kevin Magnussen, Daniel Kvyat, and Carlos Sainz in the session as well. Yeah. But I think this is really the grid for the qualifying. After qualifying, so Noel is not going to have time to settle up here. Some idiot on pole, and he actually improve, by the way, from what we saw 12-1 in the end for him.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Yeah, so dominant performance from him in the end. Some idiot gambled on the enters, gets a 1 second advantage over P2 new guy Kane.
And some idiot, definitely one of the faster boys in the rain. He's showing it here today.
Yeah, so these race conditions, then you were saying it was damp start, dry.
Yeah, that's what I got from Tipsy. So
yeah, so that's
we're
gonna
about
be
to
it.
find out, I guess.
Oh, that'll blow the strategy wide open. Usually soft medium is the OP strat here, but if it's a damp start, we might gonna see maybe gonna see enters in the initial phase of the race. So, but it really dictates, like, you know, the strategy. I mean, how long's the enters gonna be, you know, good for? I think if you can get the lap, what is it, like 15, 16, you can switch to mediums. Anything before that, then you may have to go on to another.
You can, I think you can get to the end on the mediums from something like lap 13 if you really have to.
Yeah, so if it gets dry before then, it'll be interesting because people are gonna have to consider hards or maybe a further 2 stops from that point.
A real surprise for me in P2 today, Kane. Completely new guy for me, but yeah, Racing Point conquering that first row on the grid.
Yeah, somebody will be glad of a bit of support there just to buy him some time, give him a bit of a buffer behind him as you know yourself, this first lap of Austria always seems to cause a little bit of carnage.
Like going side by side through the first 2 actual corners. I'm not gonna call turn 2 a real corner. It's just a kink on the straight, pretty much. So yeah, we'll see how this amounts to. Because, for example, Jesse is up there now, mixing this up. It's definitely the best starting position for Jesse this season. P6. Yep. And
Did I see soft tires on these cars? Yes, I do. Okay, we got.
really?
Yeah, I think everybody.
Okay, so it's actually it's raining though on screen, but yeah, we have some really strange conditions once again. Then I think we've commentated some sort of a race before where we had this kind of a similar thing where it's definitely raining, but everybody is starting on the dry tires.
Yeah, so yeah, it looks like it's going to be a dry race overall then, even though we got these damn conditions. It's going to be soft. Well, Tipsy Bob's the only guy out there who's gambled on the medium soft strategy, so interested to see how that plays out. If he can hang on to those guys for a bit, he will be good for the final stint of the race. Just needs to keep his nose clean.
Goes really wide there. It's almost onto the grass when I just cut the camera into him, so yeah. Anyway, Racing Point front row of the grid, Some Idiot and Kane. Alex Burbo in third, Hugo fourth, and Hugo and Some Idiot are the championship contenders, I believe. Some Idiot, I think, is leading the championship. Where do I have them? I'm just gonna have a look here. So yeah, Some Idiot is leading by 4 points over Hugo, and then Copy is about 59 points from Hugo, so it's really a 2-way battle at this point.
Oh, Some Idiot had an issue there. He span.
Really?
Yeah, just before the penultimate corner.
Oh.
Didn't reset.
Okay.
He's still lining up on the grid here as per the usual, but interesting there to see that. A very rare mistake or
And
some
Noel is
issue
very
for
far
somebody.
away on the track. So the front row of the grid is going to be sitting there for a long time. Noel is still not even in the final corner, so yeah.
Yeah, he's just chilling at the back. Not a care in the
And
world.
think about if the tires for the front runners are going to be ice cold in these damp conditions, and this is going to be a tricky start for them.
Yeah, so Noel finally making his way into his grid slot. We can see him at the very back there, and here we go. The lights are up. We got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and as always, a bit of a delay, and we should be off. And we are indeed. Some idiot gets off to a great start there. I think Kane in P2 as well. We're going to see some moves into turn 1. We're seeing a free wide there with the Ferrari boys, and nothing doing. I think someone pretty wide at
Kane
the
is
back.
really off there on the and gets a big tank slapper out of turn 1. He's down to P10. Terrible start for him.
Yeah, he's down to P11 now. He's been swamped by these guys, but let's see turn 3. Oh, there is a bit of an RG-bargy moment. It is. It's like a constant.
Danny ran into the back of Jesse. Jesse's got a great launch from the line, and he's up to P5 already. And yeah, it's trying to see what on earth happened there at the start, but yeah.
Oh, and Hugo and Alex Burbo going side by side. A bit of contact, and Hugo came off the worst for wear there. Got a bit of a contact, and yeah, Hugo sent out wide there briefly, but still in
Ferrari
this
boys
fight.
going too wide as well at the back, but yeah, I think Triton is gonna have to yield, and we have yellow flag, and that's Kane, unfortunately.
Kane at the back, yeah, he's fallen off
Yes.
completely. So let me get my map up. Yep, he's.
Oh, and Noel is off as well. So not a good start for Noel into this race, and he's around in the same corner where I spun yesterday, turn 8. Yeah, he's all the way at the back.
Yeah, so pretty clean start. Seeing a bit of contact, but overall not too bad. Some idiot out in the lead, but now he doesn't have his teammate to give him that buffer behind. Alex Burbo. We've seen these two guys fighting before. I believe it was China where they had an epic battle. Some idiot came off the better there, but right now Alex Burbo is keeping within that 1 second range, and that's going to be critical, isn't it, Ice?
Jesse really hanging on to this pack. He's actually set a purple at first sector, so I'm really happy to see Jesse doing so well. Hopefully he can actually hang on to this pack. He's right in the back of Wow there. Really surprising to see.
Yeah, and these conditions are just going to get drier and drier as as every lap plays out. And seeing Nico getting passed by Tipsy there.
And Nico got a bit of a tank slapper there out of turn 4, I think. And Tipsy just made that pass after that, so Tipsy up to P12. And he's the only guy who's starting on those mediums.
Yeah, they've got Kane behind him, trying to make up for the lost time there. Looks like he's catching him pretty rapidly, but yeah, some idiot with the fastest lap of the race, as you'd expect. 1.2 is a gap to P2, but we do have a battle here as well for P2 forming. It's Hugo and Alex Burbo.
And Jesse only 4 tenths behind Wow now. Wow seems to be really struggling in these conditions on this in that Renault. So Jesse the wrong. Hugo's got it all the wrong out of exit of turn 3, and he's being passed by 2 guys now. And Jesse and Wow are both ahead of him. Hugo trying to send it on the inside of Jesse. Oh my word, that's almost out of space there. I wonder if Jesse's actually gonna hold on to this.
Yeah, I
but
think he
yes,
will.
he is.
Yep. Hugo's struggling a little bit. We've seen this yesterday as well. Hugo, oh, and Jesse going out wide. Hugo's going to make the most of this, trying to slip in the inside, but there isn't enough enough speed to catch him. Oh, Jesse getting sideways briefly there. That was a scary moment, and it's allowed Hugo to pull up inside. And this is going to be
go side by side through the penultimate corner. Oh, this is recipe for disaster there, but yeah, Jesse has to back out.
Yeah, I think it was wise from Jesse to do so. And just settle down and do his own race here.
Hugo got it all wrong on the exit of 3, and now Jesse almost runs to the back of him, so I think he's gonna be. Oh,
Jesse!
My word, gets it.
Oh my word!
Danny gets past him.
Good save there from Jesse, but yeah, he's fallen down to P6 right now. He just needs to settle his head, get his head back in the game here, just find the groove. Still seeing a wee bit of rain.
Jesse, you can still hang on to this pack here.
And a move at the back as well. We got Fox and Pixel. Fox Up to P10. Pixel struggling a little bit out there in those soft tires.
Clumsy from both of them into turn 3 there, but yeah, Fox making that move up to P10.
Also Tipsy Bob falling down to P14. Kane is now making his way through the order. He does seem to be one of the faster guys out there at the minute, so we're probably going to see him make his way through the field here.
Have opened up a little bit now because, well, Jesse is right on the back of Danny still, so Jesse seems to have pace. He just needs to get his head down and focus on that traction of the car. And it's still raining. Like, these conditions are very weird.
Yeah, it's just a bit of drizzle, no spray or anything like that, so definitely dry tires are the ones to be on right now, but yeah, it's just going to make it a wee bit more difficult just to nail those braking points. And oh, Jesse again, turn 1, almost lost the car there coming out of the exit, had to go wide.
Really having to deploy now to try to get that DRS from Danny still. I think he's just about got it, yeah.
And he needs to be careful here because Copy as well is right on his heels, 1.2 behind.
Jesse getting that DRS, just deploying to hang on to this Alfa Romeo boys. And Alex Burbo actually closed up on some idiot. He's only 0.7 away for the lead of the race.
Yeah, the race settling down a bit here, but I'm seeing Nico is he's right on the back of this new guy Kane.
I think Kane made a move on Nico there actually.
Yeah.
To turn 3, I think.
So up to P12 for now, so it's damage limitation for Kane as he's 2 seconds off P11 right now, but he is making big gains.
Still struggling a bit, but still getting DRS from Danny there. So that is key for Jesse.
And he's going through turn 1 again. Let's see if he can do so. Oh, again he goes wide. Just taking too much speed in there. He needs to just settle his head and race his own race.
And there is no traction on the outside there on the painting, so and he's gonna lose DRS here, I think, to Danny. Yes, so that is a small time disaster for Jesse there, but he's still hanging on pretty well too with these fast guys. We know, like, look at who he's hanging with, Hugo and Danny.
I'm watching these.
Jesse just needs to calm down.
Yeah, he just needs to settle down, doesn't he? Just get in it. Because you find that as well, you know, when you start battling people, it just puts you off your game and takes you a while to get that rhythm back. But back here in P8, P9, we've got a battle with the Ferrari boys. I wonder if they're working together, or they just, is it
I think they are.
Every man for himself, yeah.
Timo's still ahead of Triton. Triton has been following him a few laps already in this pretty close proximity. And, I just can't get my head around this weather. I mean, it's like drizzling down, but we're still, DRS is open, I mean enabled, and we are on the dry tire, so it's just strange.
Jesse going a wee bit wide again, yeah. And Copy is right on his back now, so the pressure is increasing here.
Just turn 1 where Jesse is really losing time every lap. Needs to brake a bit earlier in the turn 1. Copy also struggling a bit to get power down in these damp conditions, but yeah, some idiot and Alex Burbo just basically running away at the front of the field. Wow is 3 seconds behind them. And then it's a 2-second gap to Hugo and Danny in close proximity, and Jesse has now dropped about 2.5 seconds from the Alfa Romeo boys.
Yeah, Copy is definitely closing in as Jesse going a bit wide for the left-hander, and that's going to allow Copy just to marginally creep up even more. You see the time, the delta is 0.6, 0.5 up to 0.7, but oh, Jesse tentative for the final corner. Again, that's going to allow Copy just to, with a DRS especially, and overtake. He's not using overtake, he's saving up his overtake. His Copy's pretty much full tank right now, and Jesse again struggling for the first corner.
Copy is gonna get him here for sure, because yeah, Jesse there's just no traction on that painting on the outside there, and Jesse just really needs to try and find a new rhythm for turn 1.
And yet the Ferrari boys have been a change of position. Triton gets through, so Triton now leads Timo, and Jesse and Copy
I didn't see what happened there, but Jesse is back ahead of him. What happened there?
Yeah, so Copy's obviously made a mistake there, or else Jesse's had a very good turn 3 exit. And
We have is that Kane who is around in turn 3?
oh
Yes, that
yes,
is.
it is indeed. Yep, we got a yellow flag there. Sector 2. So Tipsy Bob past Kane. Oh no, Tipsy Bob on the back of Kane here. Might get past him here.
I think Tipsy is just really struggling on those mediums, so it was not the right call to start on them. I think in these conditions, they're probably not very fast in such a damp track. The soft should be a lot faster than mediums in these conditions.
Yeah, Copy
It's kind
passed.
of interesting because what is the weather forecast for the rest of the race? Everybody has to go on the mediums at this rate at some point.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I mean Tipsy, he's.
Oh, and who is that? Wow, he's into the wall. Oh, sorry.
Oh, from wing damage. Yes.
Oh
What is
yeah,
that?
he just
Oh, just from turn 1.
completely lost it after turn 1. Pretty far on the traction as well there, but yeah, he's just completely lost it.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. That was a bit of a Timo scream, I think, but
Yeah.
saw it happen.
WoW is going to have to go into the pits then, and he won't be able to get to the end, I don't think, on mediums here. So this is really,
Really don't want to go on the hards at this weather.
yeah, it's really compromised him. He's going to be another guy hoping for a safety car.
This has to be the strangest conditions I've ever seen. Like the massive rain in quali, and then it's like raining, but we're on dry tires. Tipsy Bob makes a move for P13, by the way, on Kane. The weather is just so weird. Copy, yeah, wow, he's gonna pit now. Yes, he's gonna have to get that wing changed.
Yeah, so Copy up to P5, Jesse up to P6.
So up there, Tipsy and Kane have crashed in turn 7.
Yikes.
And I wonder what has happened there. Yeah, Kane letting Tipsy go there, so I wonder if that's indication of his fault in that incident. So yeah, some kind of contact between the two. I was trying to see, do they have damage?
Kane-
Tipsy's front wing seems intact.
Kane has
and so
damage,
does
yeah.
Kane. Oh yeah, that's true. On the left hand side, yeah.
So Kane into the pits, he is currently last, and WoW as well. WoW putting on another set of softs, interestingly.
Yeah, I mean the conditions are so that you really don't want to go on anything else than softs, I guess. And you can't really get to the end on mediums from here yet. Oh, Kane putting hards on, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that's gonna go.
Interesting, yes. Timo and Triton, though, seems to be the closest battle on track of these two.
And Jesse has been able to hang on to Copy, by the way.
I think the rain is stopping right now. I'm seeing a lot of fast slaps coming up on screen. Jesse 3-second time penalty.
5 for Hugo. Fox takes up 3 seconds. Yeah, it might be. It's still like very lightly drizzling there, but maybe it is actually drying up.
Yeah, Triton running wide from turn 1, but doesn't lose him too much pace. And these guys are working together nicely. I mean, Triton at the minute pulling along Timo. The DRS is a big factor in this. If you can get DRS, it's going to gain you time each lap. And you can also save up ERS as well, so it's quite advantageous to do this type of strategy, work alongside your teammate.
So you're getting a bit of a slide there. I'm just trying to follow here some of the splits across the line. I'm just gonna see what some idiot sets across the line. I think it's green for him at the moment, so he's setting a personal best on this lap, and it's gonna be the fastest lap of the race as well, 10.5. So yeah, it stopped raining, by the way.
Yeah, so those times are going to tumble down. We're going to see them get down to around about the 106 range, I'd imagine.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when they get the fresh tires on their cars. Copy across the line as well. Jesse behind him. And then the Ferrari boys pretty close behind already. Only 2 seconds to go for them. Oh, and that's probably a warning for Triton in turn 1. But yeah, the conditions have completely dried up, it seems, and I think, yeah, well, that's an 8.6, so yeah, that's an indication of how much drier it is. But he's gonna have to pit again, of course, at the back of the field. Started on softs and is on softs again.
Jesse doing a good job here of holding on to P6. He's basically on the back of copies within that DRS range, so that's really buying him a lot of time here because these Ferrari boys are pretty pacey behind, 2 seconds behind, so they're ready to pounce on Jesse if he falls out of that DRS range of copy.
In 3 seconds for him on those hards, and he is not having the best of times. He's 30 seconds behind Tipsy Bob almost.
The 4 guys at the back, I reckon they're just praying for a safety car right now.
Noel, Tipsy, and Kane, they really, and WoW as well, I would say, in that gang, they're kind of out of it at the moment.
Yeah, but I think if there was a safety car on lap 20 or so, it would really suit Tipsy Bob. I mean, it would bring him right back into play. He'd be able to switch onto those softs, and that'll be him.
Definitely, let's see who of these guys flinches first. It's probably another couple of laps. They're still setting personal bests easily, so before they dive into the pit lane, usually you pit like lap 14, I think, for the mediums. But I wonder if this damp start for the race has saved or worn the tires more. I can't really say.
I've seen the gap from P6 to P5 is over 1 second now, so I think Triton and Timo are gonna eat away at that gap now. It's already, it looks like it's about to go under 2 seconds for the first time.
Kind of thinking about here, Jesse might be the guy who really wants to make an undercut here, because he's probably a little bit off the pace of these really fast runners. Maybe just to try and make an undercut to hang on to copy and yeah, maybe fight against the Ferrari duo at the end of the race. Wow, just setting one fastest lap after another, 7.1 now, so we're getting into that completely dry track, I think.
And Timo just about hanging on to Triton's DRS here. Triton smells blood, I think. He sees Jesse up ahead now, and he's off the back of copy, so yeah, as I say, smells blood, and that will just drive him onwards. Gap is 1.3.
Still setting personal bests. Hugo 7.4 across the line, so they're setting really good lap times still on those old softs, and it looks like they're just extending the stint maybe a bit. Nobody's pitting on this lap yet.
Kebab in chat saying lots of rain all week in Austria. Global warming confirmed.
Yeah, in game as well. Wow, 6.2. Wow.
Wow, yeah. Not much to say about that.
Some idiot approaching sector 2 split. I'm just gonna see he's still 3/10 up on his personal best, so I think they're just not gonna be interested in pitting yet either. So maybe that cold and damp track has actually saved the tires in this first stint.
Yeah, I think so. It's prolonged their life a bit, so these guys are opting to stay out and just make the most of these soft tires. Ooh, yeah, and Triton is looking pretty pacey here as he flings the car. Oh, and Jesse is off! Jesse, yeah. Jesse saw the pressure from behind, and it's obviously
Just pit now.
Yeah, he needs to get the car back on track. It's 10-second time penalty for exceeded lap. That is cruel.
Yeah,
that is cruel.
Yeah, that's probably going to be taken off by the FIA if he just bothers reporting it. But yeah, just terrible news for Jesse, and his tires are completely cooked, I think, at this point. Just spun around there.
Yeah, it was going so well for Jesse on the first stage of the race, but he's joining the safety car wannabes.
Yep, definitely, and I think pretty much the only fight on track at the moment is the Ferrari duo of Triton and Timo.
Yeah, and irony being, it's not really a fight because we think they're working together, so...
Yeah, sure, but that's like the at least only DRS on track at the moment. Everybody else is just kind of settled down. There's like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 8 seconds between the cars. Hugo diving to the pits now, so Hugo's gonna try that undercut. maybe to catch Alex Burbo a bit, but he's quite far away to do that. He has to get a really, really good outlap here if he wants to do that. And pretty much certainly going on the mediums. Yes, that is medium tires for Hugo. And we have a yellow flag in sector 3. That is a Mercedes. Who is that? Is that Pixel? Yeah, it's Pixel in the wall. He's gonna dive into the pits, I guess. Yes.
Yeah, so Triton as well in the pits there. Oh, Hugo coming out just behind Timo actually. Is he going to get him in?
And Nico as well.
Yeah, I think Hugo's going to go for a run here. He wants to get this moved on as early as possible. Goes up the inside of Timo. And
it's
I think
DRS as well, so I think Hugo is going to easily keep this, yeah.
Yeah, Timo won't be too annoyed about that move. He will. He also knows that Hugo's on the better tire compound, and he can actually benefit here and maybe get a bit of DRS of him. But I think Timo's going to possibly pit this lap.
This lap, isn't he?
Yeah, Summit in the pits, leader in the pits, Alex Burbo in the pits, Danny Ko. Yeah, so everybody looks like they're going to peel it into the pits right now.
Where Hugo actually comes here, because he's now pitted a lap earlier. Made that move straight away on Timo, and is he going to get an undercut here on anybody?
Well, Copy is staying out, interestingly, on these softs, 17 lap old. And takes the lead of the race, so maybe just fancy to taste of the lead for a lap or two.
And Hugo's definitely made a little bit of an undercut on Alex Burbo, but only about a second, so he didn't really gain anything. Some idiot right on the back of Copy here, by the way. Copy didn't pit yet.
Yeah, it worked out nicely for somebody to get some DRS. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And get moved on. Fresh tires.
Jesse 3 seconds, so goes from bad to worse for him. Such a promising quali and start of the race, but yeah. Maybe take that as a positive from this race for Jesse. And yeah, Woe is up to P7 after that, but he's gonna have to pit again, so he's gonna fall pretty far away from that. Oh, and picks up a penalty as well. Copy into the pits.
Oh, Pixel go for a move and Tipsy Bob sends it down the inside of turn. Is this 4? Yeah, I believe it is.
Yep.
Oh, and gets the time penalty. Cuts the track there, just in the inside. Too much curb. He's on these fresher tires. He knows he can get past Tipsy Bob here, but Tipsy Bob, he's not gonna move over and let you pass at this point.
And Copy stays well clear of the Ferrari boys after the pit stop, so yeah, no changes there. And he's actually gained time on Triton quite a bit.
Yeah,
I'm
see that,
pretty surprised to see that. So maybe those. Wonder if Triton had a kind of an issue on his outlap or something, because he's lost like 1.5 seconds on Copy.
And Timo as well lost a lot of time on that overcut. Staying out 1 lap extra has cost him a bunch of time.
Yeah, I'm not surprised the overcut has cost him time, but sort of why did Triton lose so much on Copy by undercutting him? Maybe there's been some sort of an issue we haven't seen on the screen. Hugo sets the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 5.9.
Ooh, and Pixel getting past Tipsy Bob. Tipsy Bob under attack here. He's got Nico as well all over him, so he's sandwiched between these fresh tire runners. And Tipsy Bob will be
pit at this point, really.
Yeah, he's gonna either pit this lap or next, I would imagine. He's got a fresh set of softs waiting for him, and I'm sure he is eager to get those on.
Like 1 more lap, but maybe he should have just pitted this lap, to seems to be able to easily hang on to Pixel back there, though. Surprisingly, maybe.
Yeah, an extra lap of DRS, I suppose, wouldn't go amiss. Yeah. Nico cutting the turn 1 corner, probably got a warning for that.
Well, oh, and okay, yeah, that's never mind. That's just.
Oh, I'm seeing is that? Oh, it's Kane again, isn't it? Yeah, Kane's heading off.
It's just got out of the way at the lapping cars, but I'm not quite sure what he's up to here. Wonder if he's just gonna pit and get some other tires on, because those hards are just not working out for him. Yeah, I think this is actually, for WoW, this is his lifeline for some points in this race. He will have to pit again, but he is hanging on to Danny on those fresh mediums. And, wonder how far does he really want to go, because, well, Danny is pulling him away from the Ferrari guys, I think. And that's the battle for WoW at the end of the race, I think. The Ferrari boys and Fox. And Fox has actually got Tebow, by the way, during the pit stop. Hassle, whatever you want to call it.
Tipsy Bob staying out for another lap.
Yeah, and he's actually gonna run on Pixel here on the outside into turn 3, but he's probably gonna have to hang on back. Yep. Tipsy, a little surprised he's hanging on so easily with those 20 lap old mediums.
Here we go, Tipsy down the inside. Pixel braking quite late there. Goes run outside, carries a lot of speed there. Nicely done from Pixel to defend the attack from Tipsy Bob. Nico having a little look in the inside, but Tipsy making his car as wide as possible, and I guess Tipsy will have to pit this lap. I mean, he wants to maximize.
He's just thinking, I mean, he can race somebody here, and he's gonna pit now. But it's gonna be a lonely race for him after this pit stop, I think. I guess not the right call in the end to go and start on those mediums. They just were not very fast in the damp start of the race. Quickly gonna have a look at the penalty situation for the leaders. Some idiot has 1 warning. Alex Burbo has 1 warning. Hugo has 2 warnings. Danny has 2 warnings. And then WoW has 2 penalties. He's pitting as well now.
Yeah, it's going to be painful for him to peel off there from P5. He knows he's going to lose a bunch of positions here. But
just maybe 2 or 3. Let's see where he might be ahead or behind of Timo.
Has to put on the mandatory mediums. He used 2 softs for this race already.
Ahead of Timo here still. Yeah. So not too bad for him. He only lost 2. How many positions did he lose? 3?
3 positions, yeah.
And he's gotta be on fresher tires than anybody in this train.
One to keep an eye on for sure, as he is right on the back of Fox. He's getting DRS straight from the pit stop, so he might go for a move here already on Fox. He's got massive overspeed, goes down the inside. I think Fox is going to fight this one too much. It goes a bit deep in the corner.
P7 already, and there's that's a left car, yeah.
So next target for WoW is Triton ahead, 1 second ahead. So he's within DRS already off Triton. So this has worked out nicely for WoW. Gets these 2 positions back in quick succession.
Yeah, then he's just gonna have to pull out a bit of a gap on Triton, because let's see, Triton does only have 2 warnings. Yeah, WoW has those 2 penalties to contend with. Fox has 4 penalties. That's gonna be
Yeah, nice save there from
gonna
WoW.
go for it.
Even despite that exit there, he's massive overspeed on Triton with his CRS and overtake button, and he's up to P6. Made that look easy. Triton now getting DRS, so he'll be thankful of that, as Fox is on his behind, P8 on P7. Also in the mix is Timo on P9. Trying desperately to catch up here. He wants to get on the back of Triton's DRS again. And there's a battle here at the back. Oh, Pixel gets past Nico. Nico running wide and turned free. Actually, he didn't get past Nico. Nico did run wide, but he was able to keep the position there somehow, some way. Pixel all over.
Hugo 3 seconds.
Oh no, because I was watching that time between P3 and P2. It was creeping down the ways, but that's not good for Hugo, obviously. He should be okay from behind
clear
him.
from Danny,
Yeah.
so podium is pretty much in the clear for Hugo at the moment.
Yeah, it seems to be all the battles here right at the back. We've got Jesse now on Pixel. So Jesse...
See Bubba Noel as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's so 2 battles to keep an eye on here as Jesse is right on the back of Pixel. Nice line for turn 1 for Jesse. He's got DRS. He's not using his overtake right now, so he's biding his time as Tipsy Bob does indeed get past Noel. And Tipsy Bob's going to be pretty rapid on these softs, but Noel is actually going to make a run back on him. Is he going to go down the inside? He does indeed. They're side by side going through turn 3. Oh, Tipsy ghosting?
there.
What? Tipsy getting
Strange. Or is that the leader lapping them? Is that why they're ghosting, or what's happening here? Because some idiot is right behind them. They're fighting ahead of some idiot.
Yeah, Noel going down the inside here. Tipsy does have the better tires here, but Noel is doing everything he can to fight Tipsy for this position. P13.
Sure, if the game is gonna give them a penalty if they don't get out of the way for some idiot now. Some idiot behind them, actually, the leader of the race, and yet I think Noel is gonna, let him go there.
Yeah, somebody that's teammate pitting one more time. Pixel in the pits as well, so I wonder if he's picked up a bit of damage there. He's 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So,
and there's a new wing.
So Tipsy up to P12 then.
And Jesse has, I don't even know, like so many penalties that I can't count them, but
But if I'm looking at Tipsy here, is he not got? He should move over pretty soon here for some idiot.
I think so, because otherwise he's gonna get a penalty for that. I'm not exactly sure how the game works in this, but if you ignore the blue flags for too long, you're gonna get a penalty, I think.
Yes, it's a difficult situation for Tipsy because he has these soft tires on. He wants to make the most of them, but he's gonna have to let some idiot by, and he does indeed, yeah. Oh, and Hugo is right. How did this happen? Alex Burbo's made a mistake somewhere, obviously, as Hugo is 0.5 behind Alex Burbo right now.
Hugo is looking to make a move, and he has to make that 3-second gap as well to Alex Burbo to take P2 today. Tipsy Bob 3-second time penalty. Some idiot fastest lap of the race, 5.7. Hugo is right in striking distance of Alex Burbo here. Brent's a little deep into turn 1, so he's not going to make it here on this straight, I think.
Yeah, both cars, P2 and P3, ERS are around about 20%, so guys are obviously pushing hard and using up all their ERS.
Hugo's still too far back, so he's just probably like charging up this lap and maybe making a move on the next lap, and Jesse another penalty, so that's somewhere in the region of 30 seconds for Jesse, I think, along with the 10-second penalty he has.
Yikes.
Or I'm not exactly sure what these mean, because there is like, if I look at Jesse's race director, there's like a bunch of invalidated lap times, and sometimes when I have had a look at that, they're like 3 seconds. I'm not sure. Anyway.
I've got another battle here, Foreman Fox on Triton for P7. Fox pretty close behind, 0.7. Oh, and Jesse gets past Nico and turn 3. So Jesse P10 currently, but those time penalties obviously going to have a big impact on that result.
I mean, the 10-second one might probably be removed because 10-second penalty for cutting the track when you're on the gravel is a bit weird. But yeah. Hugo right on the back of Alex Burbo, but chooses not to send it yet. And is he gonna send it here though? Yeah, he is, but he's got a much better exit out of turn 4 there. And he's ahead of Alex Burbo into turn 5. Or turn 6 rather, and then he has to really charge ahead now and drop Alex Burbo from that DRS range, which is not easily done on this track.
Yeah, he's got 8 laps to make up 3 seconds. That's quite a big ask. I mean, the main thing is that he breaks his DRS range.
Yep.
Which
Jesse another penalty.
Yikes. Is he going to make it to the end of the race? Maybe not.
He's breaking my record anyway, I think.
Yeah, Hugo pushing hard here, but I mean, you got 3 DRS zones here, so it's really, really tough to break that DRS range. I'd be very surprised if he does.
And they're right after another as well, so the only place where you can really make that difference is in the middle sector. Yeah, Hugo, about 6 tenths in the clear, and this is where he has to now attack in this middle sector of the track. Just that it's up to 8 tenths almost already. Noel 3 seconds as well.
Yikes.
So the Mercedes boys are not having the best of time today.
And someone we haven't really mentioned much, but and I'm a bit apprehensive about saying anything nice about him today in case I curse him. But Danico P4, he's been chipping away there, on for a good finish here.
Danny has just had his own race. Maybe not quite able to match Hugo today on the race pace, but and just as you said that, by the way, Danny went wide in the final corner.
Oh dear! And look at that there. Alex Burbo is out of the DRS range. He does have DRS right now, so he might be able to gain a wee bit of time back. But this isn't looking good for.
Not gonna get it anymore.
Yeah.
Nope. And he runs really deep as well into turn 3. So yeah, this is crucial. So Hugo has made it work.
Yeah, 1.6.
Pull another 1.5 seconds or so. And we've seen Hugo do this. He did it yesterday, I think, in the SLR Tier 1 race. And pulled out that gap on the guys behind him, and he's just proceeding to do right that again. Yeah,
he's done the hardest part, breaking that DRS range. Now it's just about building up that gap. It's 1.7 now, so we're looking at 1.3. Needs to gain over these next 5-6 laps.
In the back of Triton, but Fox has like at least 12 seconds, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, four penalties for Fox, so that's 12 seconds. And Triton, I don't think has a penalty yet. He has got 1 penalty actually. So this is not really a real battle here. Triton has 9 seconds on Fox.
I've got Nico on Jesse. Nico moving up to P10 there, gets moved on. Oh, and Jesse fighting back on the outside, but oh, actually, I thought Nico had that on the exit, but Jesse and Nico side by side here as they enter into 2 left-handers. Nico backing out of that one. Maybe thinking about a switch back there, but yeah, Jesse just keeping ahead for now.
Jesse, without that spin he had, I think he would be up there on the points easily. Like, really good pace from Jesse today. Just unfortunate with the spin.
Gap from P2 to P3 is now 2 seconds, so we're looking at 1 second increase in that.
Looking like Hugo is gonna be able to pull that, yeah. And who did that was Kane at the back of the field picking up a time penalty.
Nico again.
Hugo, 3 seconds.
Oh no, no.
That's gonna be, oh no, that's I'm gonna have a look, because Alex Burbo still has Alex Burbo has 1 penalty as well, by the way.
Oh right, okay, there we go. There we go.
So it maybe just right as we missed it in the multitude of penalties that have popped up on the screen.
So it's still game on for Hugo.
Yep, 3 seconds. He needs 3 seconds.
Oh, Jesse got a wheel in the dirt there. Looked like Nico was going to get a move on there, but he was, yeah, managing to hold this position for now. But I think Nico is, he wants this moved on now. He's that P10 awaits. Jesse another time penalty, 3 seconds, and Fox finally gets past Triton.
And Nico doesn't have a penalty. So.
Oh, yeah, just as you said that, he just got a penalty.
Oh, really?
Literally just popped up as you said that.
Yeah, but Jesse has at least 28 seconds, if I count correctly. Oh, and 2! Nico almost ran to the back of Jesse there into turn 3.
Yeah, some idiot getting... Is this... Yeah, some idiot getting past Tipsy again?
I guess so, yeah.
How does that make... Did he not do that a while back? Okay.
I'm a little confused as well at the moment.
Oh, I think it was Tipsy before he pitted, wasn't it? And then he pitted, and then he's got lapped.
Maybe. Yeah, that must be it, of course. So we perhaps Tipsy actually. I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening there.
Tipsy
Wow.
able to get
Well,
DRS
if I-
off. Sorry, I said Tipsy just able to get DRS off some idiot, so that's going to pull him further up towards Nico.
Yeah, Copy has actually had some sort of a problem because he was about 7 seconds behind Danny and he's 15 now. Wow is right in the back of him. Wow, of course, has a bunch of penalties, so Copy has had some sort of an issue somewhere on this this lap. I'm just checking Copy's sector times there, and yeah, I wonder where he said that. Or maybe I'm just very confused and he's just not having the best of pace today. Maybe that's actually the case. I thought he was closer to Danny, but maybe he's actually not being closer to Danny.
Oh, look at that. Tipsy getting past Nico there. Quick work. He's pretty close that gap up pretty quickly. And Tipsy now on the back of Jesse. So Tipsy potentially on for points finish today if he plays his cards right here. As Fox and Triton are going side by side for turn 4. Fox staying ahead for now, but yet...
Nico is definitely the one who's gonna get points from these boys because he doesn't have a penalty. Tipsy has 2.
Oh, Tipsy Bob has another penalty.
That's the 3rd one. Every time I say something.
And yeah, leader on the last lap. So the gap from P2 to P3 is 3.1. It can't... Oh, Tipsy loses it! I was on board with Tipsy, and he went into the wall last lap. He'll be kicking himself right now. He's got front wing damage. And there goes any chance of a points finish. But I'm going to ride on board with the leader for this as he rides into Sector 2.
Hugo seems to have made this work. He's got 3.2 seconds on Alex Burbo.
Jesse with another time penalty.
Oh no. We're gonna have to see what that actually amounts to at the end, sweet.
And here we go, their leader round the final 2 laps. It's a masterclass once again from some idiot. He led from the very get-go through difficult conditions. Cross the line, P1, and who is going to get P2? Looks like it's going to be Hugo.
Yeah, by 0.1. So that's how close it was at the end there.
Yeah, and as we said, Danny Co as well, just plugging away, doing his own race. He actually gains 3 seconds there on Alex Burbo across the line, gets P4, copy P5 it looks like.
We just couldn't quite match the guys ahead of him today, but yeah, P5 for Copy, good points in the championship anyway.
Fox crossing the line, currently in P7, drops down to P8. I didn't see what happened there, but I think even Timo got him on the line there. I think, did Timo get his teammate as well at the line?
Yeah, he might have got, because Timo didn't have a penalty once again, by the way, I might add, so he's made these jumps in the races we've seen.
TSRL Pixel saying, at least I got the fastest lap.
Timo got even wow at the end, so Timo up to P6.
Wow, Timo. I'm impressed once again, man. Impressed once again.
And Jesse, let's see what he had. He had 31 seconds.
Wow.
Oh no. 10 of those are a bit questionable, but yeah.
Yeah, only 4 drivers managing to cross the line with no penalties on this track in those conditions. That is pretty impressive.
And Danny didn't pick up a penalty. That's because he sometimes does, and yeah, Danny has really stepped up his game in this game as well, along with Hugo and some others. But yeah, here we have it.
Timo P6 from P9. What a
Yeah, was it 9th on track, I think, and once again jumps like 3 positions at the line. Not quite the one we saw in I think SLR tier 2 today, because he was I don't remember where he was across the line, but he got P4 and almost got me as well.
Yeah, good job from Timo. But I mean, driver of the day wise, I'm thinking, you know, Timo obviously did very well there. Did not pick up penalties and pick up P6 in the end, but I think Danny Coe deserves some credit for this.
Yeah.
P4.
I think started ninth, kept his nose clean, didn't pick up a penalty. I would have to agree with you. And most of those guys surrounded by him have got multiple driver of the days this season already. So yeah, I'm happy to give it to Danny there.
Yeah, I think Danny Coe deserves to be driver of the day, you know, for his
Definitely.
efforts. So we go to the
I'm sure
interviews.
if you ask him, he's gonna be the first guy to say that he's not gonna be too happy with his race because he, yeah, you know Danny, but yeah, solid drive from him in my opinion anyway.
Yeah, I'll see. I know he's a bit shy on the mic, but we'll try and get him in here for a wee interview. I see there's not too many people waiting around for an interview today. But we can yoink in, let's see, we can bring in WoW. It's Trident and Beamer are on standby there, so I think we'll just yoink one of those guys in.
Yep, go for it.
Hey, WoW 125, how are you, sir? It's Ocean Chief here and Icewind in the commentary booth. Yeah,
Yes.
just want to have a wee chat with you about your race, see how it went for you. I mean, it was an interesting one, I would say that for sure, from your point of view.
Well, it definitely was. I think I kind of bottled it in the first few laps when I like half spun or even spun into the wall and got some wing damage, which I had to repair. But other than that, I had after that I had a really good race. So I could push like every lap, go for fastest laps, and pretty much until the end. And had a nice fight with Copy in the last like 4 or 5 laps, which was pretty fun. So yeah, overall it was a pretty good race for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like, you know, from our point of view, we saw that incident early on in the first part of the race and we thought, yeah, you're pretty much out of it now. You know, the 2-stop, it's just going to cost you too much time. But yeah, you put those softs on, and just put the pedal to the metal and just, yeah, it worked out for you in the end. You got some decent points and a few battles along the way. Tell us about those initial conditions. So, you know, it was quite strange to see, you know, rain, but everybody on dry. So, what were the conditions like at the start of the race?
I think it was for the game. It was like borderline towards Inters. Like there's this time where you can switch, where you can choose between wets and dry tires, and we started on exactly those conditions. Like it was very wet, and the traction was hard to get right. I was running like lean out of every corner to nearly get some traction. So it was pretty difficult. And I'm pretty much surprised at how smooth the first few laps went, except those little incidents here and there everyone had. But no, the initial conditions were, as a driver, pretty tough. Yes, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, even the qualifying condition. I mean, I have never seen rain come down like that in this game. It was sideways at one point. I mean, it was interesting from our point of view because like it seemed like it got wetter. Initially, it wasn't as wet, and then it got wetter, and then it seemed to kind of taper off, and the conditions came back to the driver. Some guys able to improve on their times.
Actually, yes. The first 5 minutes of qualifying were like heavy rain, and then there was some thunderstorm symbol showing up for us. So it was like monsoon.
Wow.
Yeah, so, it was something we were thinking about. I have never seen that before, so it was.
me neither. Like it was undrivable. You couldn't improve anymore, and so I think everyone's just stayed in for like 5 or 6 minutes. And then the weather cleared a little bit, and it was heavy rain again, where we improved again. So, or we tried to at least. But yeah, the conditions today were quite interesting. Yeah.
Indeed, and it's always a pleasure to see you on track. WoW. I mean, I don't mean to be cheesy, but you do tend to bring the wow factor. So I mean, this one didn't go your way in the end, but as I say, great kind of finish. You know, you went into damage limitation mode, and as I say, it's you know yourself. Sometimes you have an incident and it's just that puts you out of the running completely. But you're able to salvage your race today somehow with a two-stop strategy. Made it work and got some decent points there. So congratulations to you, my man.
Thank you.
And we'll hopefully get speaking to you again next week at Silverstone. How do you feel about that track?
Silverstone's a great track, I have to say. We did some early preparation like a few months ago when we did the GRL versus SLR thing. So I'm kind of used to the track already, and I got a pretty decent setup for it. So looking forward to it.
Excellent, excellent stuff. Right, well, I'll put you back into the main chat there, but thanks again for joining us on stream. Appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime.
Right, and let's see.
Timo
Okay.
in the list. He's
Yeah, we've got Timo there. We've got Simidate as well. Let's see. So yeah, Timo, hello. You're no stranger to the commentary booth. How to? Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Oh.
it's all
What it offended
Try-
you there?
Triton was mid-sentence.
All right, sorry.
It's okay. Go on.
Anyway,
Yeah,
anyway.
you did your usual from the last few weeks. I've seen like you finish on track somewhere, I don't know, P9 or whatever, and then you just jump like 4 positions or whatever.
It is a pattern, and this time I didn't even get the lucky safety car, so that's something.
I think we'll just call that the Timo whenever you
Yeah.
see someone jump up about 10 positions at the final line. I brought Triton in as well because I saw you guys were working together a lot in this one. You know, using up you're in DRS range for the first stint of the race. So, was that a plan thing? Were you kind of talking in VC and working together that way?
Well-
The original plan was for me to follow him because he got the jump on me on the start. Copy was fighting me hard, and I wasn't in the mood to crash out again. So I just kind of let him go, and Timo inadvertently got let go as well too. So I decided to just follow him through. But I think we were both struggling in the weather. So eventually Timo swapped with me, and then we just kind of pulled each other along again as the stint went on. And then once it dried out, we just both kind of started to gun it, and we caught up to Jesse, but then he had an incident, and after that we just kind of played it like as we would, just kind of going behind or just kind of chasing down the pack.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really intentionally, like we didn't set this up as in like we will swap back and forth all the time and like do that. It just thought, okay, the quicker one goes and the one behind gets to pull, the other one gets to get pulled along and like save his resources. So that's basically what we did. And like Triton, I think, was faster overall a little bit. We were fairly closely matched, but like he had the edge on me just slightly, and I struggled a little bit to stay in the DRS. So like it was nice to like work together in that way. I never really did that with our teammates. That's something nice, and it worked out well in the end because well, I mean, the penalty game, WoW had 9 seconds. He was in VC with us as well. Fox had like 12, and then unfortunately Triton also got 3. So like for me personally, it was just at that point I knew I needed to like maybe get into DRS or at least like be as fast as I can without getting this a third warning, so I could jump all of them and get like P6, and I did that, and I'm really happy with that. But
Yeah, were you just sitting like driving at the end stand there going, you know, a big smile on your face going like, I may be P9 now,
Quite
but...
the opposite. Quite the opposite, actually.
Okay.
He was not happy with his pace. I'm sorry, I'm gonna expose
Oh
you.
yeah, no, I wasn't. I didn't really feel well, but like I'm gonna say, I mean, it's a little bit of an excuse, but I am still a little bit hungover, so like I didn't feel it at all today. So it was like the fact that I got that good of a result in TS tier 1 is like I can't complain at all. That was definitely the maximum that was in there. So I'm really happy with my run, but I wasn't happy with my pace. And had Triton not been there, like had we not played the team game in a way that allowed me to just like coast by with the DRS, it certainly wouldn't have been that good.
Yeah.
Maybe a question to both of you. Like, we saw some really weird conditions today. Like in quali, I have never seen rain like that we had in the middle of quali, and then the first half of the race where it was raining, but everybody were on the dry tires. So what's your take on those?
Should I? Okay.
Yeah.
It was quite weird. Yeah, I have not seen these conditions either. I mean, 2S has like like this season generally basically always had the weird conditions. It's like always been raining or something. Like something's always gone wrong. I think like more than 50% of 2S races there's been rain either in quali or race, and today was both. And yes, I have never seen that. It was a thunderstorm on the forecast. Like it had the normal clouds, and then there was just like a lightning coming out. So that was really weird. And the track felt absolutely terrible, but it cleared up a little bit towards the end of qualifying. So it didn't matter a whole lot. But I really didn't feel the car at all. It was and like in the race, it was really difficult because. I mean, I'm not really the best at like judging my car's edge of grip and like adapting to it every lap when it changes through tire wear. So like I usually don't maximize my potential there, and now it got amplified because of the fact that the track was drying. So we got so much more grip from lap to lap, and it was really difficult to tell yourself, okay, last lap I totally would have spun had I put my foot down, but this lap I am sure it won't happen. And then you need to like get yourself to put the foot down and hope that you don't spin. And if it goes like that, then like it's a tough task, and I'm happy that I didn't spin at any point. It was close to it multiple times on the traction, but well, I honestly just hope that we can get some normality for the next races. I'm kind of sick of all the rain.
Yeah, well, I think good job to both of you overall. I mean, it was tough conditions.
I don't think I did particularly
I think
well.
I think you're
I'll
being
be
harsh on yourself.
Well, no, it's because to be good in this game, you have to be clean. You have to avoid the track limits. And I know it's hard to do here, but that was what my main goal was. And then I went and got a really, really stupid penalty by just putting like a third wheel onto one of the curbs, and I could have been P6, which is what I've been wanting in this league. I haven't done anything particularly special at all in this whole game, and then I go and throw it away by doing something like that and not being able to clear the gap. So that's my mistake, and it's just really annoying to think about. So I mean, I cannot be happy. I want to be happy because that's points, but looking at what was possible, that's very much not what was possible. P8 is not good enough.
I mean, we'll see next week. I think you had me on pace, so like, just
I
about.
know exactly how you feel, Triton. So
yeah.
I mean, to an extent, I know as well, but it goes like my races have been decent in the past. But I know the feeling when you feel like you should be happy with your result, but you're just not. That's I have that a lot in ACC, but
Well,
in
I
F1
guess.
not.
Well, yeah, I know I'm better than this. That's the thing, but I'm not showing it. I might, or maybe I'm not. I don't know, but it's just like if I'm gonna keep if I'm gonna keep doing poorly like last week and throwing away results like this week, then it's just it's not what I want. It's not what I should be doing, and it's not what anyone wants to go through, I'm sure. And if it just keeps bottling up like that, then it just gets really annoying. And now I'm just here thinking like, what if I didn't do that? And it's kind of hard to put behind you. But I mean, I don't know how Silverstone will go. Hopefully I don't do that again, but this seems to be a common trend for me at the moment. So
Well, I think one positive from this race is now that you guys are teammates, I don't know. I mean, it seems like a nice kind of pairing, and maybe both of you together will form a strong team, and we'll see improvements in the future, and you guys move up the ranks and challenge for the wins. Or
It's
that's
a possibility. I mean, I enjoy the pairing. I mean, in the history of 2S, this is gonna sound like a front, but like my teammates have always just like outmatched me unconditionally, except in season 2. Like my only teammates that I've had apart from that were Terra and Speedy, and like it's nice to have a teammate who is like roughly your pace. I think like Triton is, you deny, but I think you're a little bit faster. And
I don't think so.
Like it's
otherwise.
It's well, yeah, but they don't happen on pace. They happen on penalties.
They happen often on pace. Yeah, if you look
and
at it.
Anyway, so that's another disagreement for another day. So like I think it's nice to have a teammate to like push yourself and like to actually be able to do like strategic calls together and try and get the best race for both of you. It adds a bit of it adds a bit of more more dimensions to the race to like work as a team, and I've never really done that because like I mean with Speedy and Terra I just been in VC and thought, oh yeah, you're P3, that's amazing, great, I got a point, by the way, so it's a nice change to actually like drive the same race as my teammate.
I feel your pain, Beamer. I feel your pain. But I think we'll end on the message. You guys are going to make Ferrari great again, okay? So, that's an order. It's an order. It's not. No, we're not gonna. There's no hope. It's going to happen, okay, guys? Believe.
Well, I mean, Nick had to carry it last time, so now it's Beamer's turn to carry it, and he's doing his job so far. So.
Listen here, I'm trying.
We'll see. We'll see. But try and keep the hopes up. I mean, try and take the positives away. I mean, sometimes you can't you can't get demotivated, and it's all this what ifs and what ifs. It'll just haunt you forever. But yeah, just try and move on to the next one. It is what it is. Some points at least. But yeah, I thought a pretty good finish from you today, Triton, and Beamer as well. So yep, some decent points for you guys. I'm gonna move you back in the chat. We've got a few other guys to interview here, so I appreciate you joining us and giving us your time, and we'll speak to you again soon. Okay.
Appreciate the commentary, bye.
Cheers, guys.
Good job.
Wait. So yeah, we'll get
The master of conditions, I would say.
we'll save the best to last. Some idiot. Another master class today. I mean, what's going on out there? Were you just chilling out there? Did you even break a sweat today, or?
Oh, I always break a sweat, man. I'm giving it my all. I'm driving my butt off, man.
Yeah, well, on the outside, it just looks like you're just chilling. You know, you're just like another day at the office.
Car was
Only-
excellent. Sorry.
Only sort of hiccup I picked up from you today was on the formation lap.
Yeah, I just put it in tier 1 discussion. Freaking. Okay, so let me explain. Not intentional. I 100% promise you that was not intentional. What happened was my tires were cold because, well, it was raining. It was surprisingly close to going to inters. Looking at the, just from the weather report, I was just shocked that we were actually on dry tires. I was fully expecting just to be on inters. But my tires were cold, below 80 degrees. I was trying to warm them up, and I knew where the AI was roughly going to take over. So I tried to like warm up right before it, then get the wheel straight so the AI wouldn't do that. But sure enough, I had the tiniest bit of wheel in it. The AI opposite locked it and did an overcorrection and just did a 360 when it took over.
Apparently Tipsy did exactly the same thing. We didn't see that. I just caught the end of your spin. It was like, oh, that's unusual. A mistake from some idiot. Okay.
I just got my spin out of the way, you know.
That's it. Yeah. I always say, Cody, it's the formation lap's the hardest lap of the race. The rest is easy.
The AI proved that one. Go ahead.
I just wanted to have this question because we talked about it with the other interviewees here, and the conditions were bizarre today. I've never seen that.
I've never driven.
And then at the start of the race, it was raining, but everybody were on dry tires, and it's we were just scratching our heads here at the commentary booth, like, what is going on here?
I will say this. I have had a qualifying like that before in 2018. Back in 2018, there used to be monsoon conditions where the quali went like this in that session. Went from full wet, so stayed full wet for about 14 minutes. The last 4 minutes were just monsoon weather where the track was 1 second a lap slower. In this case, it was even more. It was like undrivable. I think it was like maybe 2 seconds off the pace. And then, sure, as quickly as it came, it went away. And then we smacked on inters for the end. And I just managed to time my final runs right. I think there was a couple more tenths in Sector 2, but that lap for me in quali was excellent. And then in the race, I had never driven in a race like that. Not in all my years of league racing since F1 2017 have I had a race just like that with those conditions. It's never been like that before. But very hairy, very treacherous. It was definitely it's a unique race there for me with those conditions. Setup was excellent. I think I had really aggressive negative rear camber that I hadn't tried until this race. Felt amazing. I just had a car that I could do. I knew I could do what I needed to do with it. It was exactly what I wanted to drive. Did everything I asked of it, and that's really all I can really look for is just giving
Exactly.
myself a car that I can do what I need to do with.
Exactly what I used yesterday as well, and worked wonders in the dry. A lot of negative rear camber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else I can answer?
I guess we could just ask you about the drivers' championship. I mean, how are you feeling about that now? Obviously, that was a good race for you, full points. I think you got fast slap as well, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I believe I want to say one of I think Pixel got
Oh,
fast
yes, you're
slap.
right,
I
yeah.
could be wrong. I haven't seen the results.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
checked.
It was Pixel, yeah.
I will quickly check for you. In fact, yes, it was Pixel.
Yeah, so the
5-3.
drivers' championship, then you get 25 points for that. Obviously, that will keep you in the lead. Then, how you feeling? We're over the halfway point. I think that's round 11. So we're
Yep,
not.
this halfway point right here. For me, I just continue the momentum. Don't press the attack. Don't give up on it. Just don't let the pedal. Don't give up the advantage. Just keep pushing. Keep bringing in good races. Keep bringing in good cars week to week. Keep performing to the best I can. Drive the smartest races I can. That's all I have to do. Just keep executing. And if I keep executing, I think I've got myself in a good shot here. I put myself in a good place after the start of the season. So just keep pushing the momentum. Keep pressing the attack. That's what I'm going to say for it.
Is there anybody you have your eye on, like as a potential threat? Now, obviously Hugo's the main threat, but is there anyone else in the field that you're looking at going, oh, they're pretty pacey. They potentially, they could get me.
I mean, for me, a lot of people in this field can win week in and week out. I say there's about 6 or 7 people who, if they bring a really good car, they do some practice, they hit on a lap in qualifying, they can put themselves in a position to win. A lot of people can win here. A lot of people can run up front. So you can't ever just give up on just not. You can't stop practicing. You can't just roll into it and hope for the best. It's just I got to keep up. I just got to keep up with everyone.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody else is improving all the time, so it keeps you on your toes in this game, definitely.
Exactly.
I think that does it for now. I mean, I've just one last question, a real quick one. We saw you with a new teammate today, new guy on the field. Is he a friend of yours, or?
I have not raced with him before, but he put in a really good qualifying. I for the race, it's a shame how it went for him. I saw he had some issues early on, and it just seemed to go back from there. But I had not met him before today. But
Okay.
it seems like he's got some good quality speed. It's just about finding some race pace, finding some consistency, and that can be done. That can be done. He showed some potential here, so
yeah, it was
might be someone who can run up front.
As we mentioned, there are tough conditions there, so it was a pretty tough debut for him, and it didn't go his way. But yeah, as you say, hopefully see some good races from him in the future. But Cody, somebody, thank you very much for joining us in the commentary channel. We appreciate it very much, and congrats again on the win.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll move you back in the general chat. I think Icewind, we have one last person.
Nico, maybe? Or
no?
Oh, Ipsy Bob.
It's Bobby Boy. So I don't even need to introduce you, man. I'll just let you talk.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so Tipsy, you sent me a wee message before the race to saying, listen, lads, if you're doing the commentary, can you try and focus on some of the battles at the back of the field? And you'll see that I did do that because even though the race didn't go, I know it would have been a tough race for you. You went for the medium strat, only guy to go for that alternative strat. And, at the start of the race, as I said in the 2SRL Tier 2 race that I took part in, as we sat on the grid waiting for the lights to come up, I said, this is where your dreams come to die. Because at that point, you're like, there's so much potential, you don't know how the race is going to go. It might turn out brilliant for you. It might be absolutely rubbish or whatever. But yeah, when you're on the grid with those mediums, you were looking pretty. It could have went your way, but very tough conditions today. And yeah, there was a I think you got hit by that new guy as well. We didn't catch it, but we saw both of you off track at one point. So yeah, just talk us through, your race today from your point of view.
Well, I was just flicking through the stream there while you were doing your interviews just to see how the race unfolded, and I noticed right enough you did check a few of the things that were happening with me, and you seemed to be a little confused with what was happening. So I cleared a few things up. So
What?
of course, Chief. I mean, what? Anyway, the formation lap, I bottled it. I was trying to warm my mediums up, and well, actually, as you start let's start at the beginning. There's a good idea. Whenever I stuck the mediums on, I thought, right, okay, we'll hold the mediums up because it's going to be drying up soon. So if I put the mediums on, I'll have to go through for a couple of laps of torture, and then eventually when it dries up, it'll be a good strat. But then I saw everyone around me going on the softs, like everyone. And I was thinking, have I made a fundamental error? And it quickly became apparent that I did make a fundamental error, because I don't know, the guys on the softs had so much grip, to me anyway. They had so much grip. I was petrified to put the power down, because you just even think about accelerating and you're in the wall. So it was just lap after lap after lap. It was just getting worse and worse, and I was just feeling more horrible. I was like, oh, right. But I did know that it was going to dry. Now, before I get to that, there was an incident when the new fella, Kane, he's up there. Kane was, he had some pretty good pace on those softs, but a couple of times I had caught up with him because he seemed to be having a few issues with either other people or just the conditions, and so he was running wide a few times. So I knew that although he had the pace, he was struggling. And so after a few laps of me exploring the track with the mediums, I kind of settled down with the track, just paced myself on these mediums, hoping for the thing to dry. But anyway, I had caught up with him, and then I passed him. And then the second DRS zone when I went round, whatever. I had to brake much earlier than those guys in the softs, because like I said, the mediums were just like on ice. And so he rear-ended me, and he did apologize, and I note that, but of course I had to report it. But so that's what happened there. So that sent me into the wall, or into the gravel. And it was only at that stage, whenever I was starting to feel that, these are starting to work now. These mediums are starting to kick in. So then we fast forward onto the whenever it dried up. Today was one of the only races for all season that I've actually practiced properly. And so I had nailed down my strats right down to the last degree. And I was feeling very confident with my overall pace. I didn't really do much TT time, because I don't think that helps me personally. So anyway, I was doing race practice, and I was using Ice's setup with a few tweaks to it, and it was great. And yeah, so I knew I had the pace. So whenever things dried up, guys, it was just, this is brilliant. I'm now starting to close that gap. And I think at one point it was like over 25 seconds to the guy in front, and I had dropped it to about 16 or so seconds. And then the pit stops came, and then that's whenever I realized, right, this is my time to capitalize, because I knew I had pace. The mediums were doing okay because I was nursing them. Time to battle. And then for the couple of laps, I was fighting Nico and Pixel, and it was quite fun. And I was actually surprised that I actually did have a lot more pace than them overall. It's just they had that grip element to it, but I couldn't really fight them too much. So I did decide to fight for a little bit, because twofold. I wanted to give myself a best opportunity in the race. I didn't want to just hold off, because I was already far enough behind. But two, I knew that I will probably have to race them later in the race. So if I can do what I can to, help wear their tires up, or rough them up a little bit, then so be it. So that's what I did for 2 laps. Came into the pits. Then I seen on the stream that you were wondering what happened with Cody, because you seen him pass me, and then suddenly you seen him. It looked like he passed me again, but that's not what happened. What happened was
Hanging in his DRS, right?
Yeah, what happened was I pitted for the softs, and I seen him catching me quick. And then it put me into between a rock and a hard place, because I knew I was quick in Austria, and I had brand new softs on a brand new track, so I knew I was going to be quick. And so initially I had the blue flag, constant blue flag, and I was aware that if I don't do something about this, I'm going to get a penalty, because as you guys rightly pointed out, that if you have a blue flag for too long, you get a penalty. So I was aware of this. So I was pushing extra hard to try and break that zone, which I did do for a while. But anyway, eventually he had caught up and he was catching. It's hard to explain. He was at a point whereby he had Noel just behind him, and I had just passed Noel, and I didn't want Noel catching up with me again, kind of spoiling my potential race further up ahead. So I wanted to keep ahead of him, but at the same time, I needed to drop this blue flag. So it was a rare position I've been in. I haven't been in that position, and I can't actually think in any time. That was just a really rare race. But anyway, I started running lean a little bit on a couple of corners to hope that he would catch up with me, and he did. So to make a long story short, he did pass me eventually. I let him go. But whenever he did pass me, then I used that to full effect, and I just hung behind him for pretty much the entirety of that whole stint. To which point I was actually catching right up the back of him, which is what you guys saw in your stream, where I was right behind him. It looked like he passed me again, but he didn't. I was managing it so whereby I could use my rich mode and DRS and not really use the battery, so that I could close up on Jesse and Nico, which I did. It was working perfectly, and I was thinking, this is great. I'm going to get at least P10 here. But then on the final lap, I pushed it. I was just a little bit too eager to get past Jesse because I knew that was the moment. And that one lapse in concentration on a spun, which I think you got. And I just nurse the car around, and I still got P11, I think it was. So that's basically my race, guys.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, you actually had genuine pace there, because you basically caught a pit stop on those guys, didn't you?
Yeah.
In the last 10 laps or whatever it was.
See, I know if I practice, I can. I'm normally at Timo's pace. Me and Timo have always battled throughout all the seasons, and we're always pretty close on pretty much throughout all the seasons. Of course, Timo is just, I don't know, he's just been practicing more. I don't know, but he's just got the legs on me. So I knew that if I practiced, that I could maybe do something about it, you know, because I've often thought about maybe just dropping out of this, because there's a few things that makes it not really enjoyable anymore on Formula One, which I've talked to you guys privately about. Not just the racing, but sometimes the mentality of people as well kind of kills it for me. But I thought I'm going to put that to the side and give it a go. So I give it a go today, and it was wet. My being of whatever you call that, I don't know how to finish a sentence, but it's I detest the wet races with a passion. And so, you know, I'm just hoping Silverstone's dry.
I'm just checking here, like, just for reference, you were 15 seconds behind Jesse on lap 24, and you caught up to those guys at the end of the race. So yeah, it's just a shame about the tactical error that you pulled at the early in the race. It was a gamble, but yeah, the mediums just didn't work in those very weird conditions, I guess.
Yeah, I thought it was very weird too, because like I said, whenever I seen on the strat and in quality, I remember I sent it to you, Ice, about, you know, what the conditions are going to be, and it did say it was going to be light rain and then overcast. I think it said.
It was dry.
Yeah, and then so whenever I seen it, I was actually expecting to start on the inters.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting as well, but yeah,
I was expecting to start on the inters and run to about lap 17. I was thinking the crossover would have been around lap 17, 18, to which point I would have switched to the mediums and then finished the race like that. But everyone was starting on the softs, and I because my strat was the same, when I was thinking, well, maybe if I run to the mediums, it'll dry up in time so that I can get the jump on someone. But look, I don't want to go over it again. It just didn't work. But, you know, a little saying, God loves a trier. You don't learn these things. But I tried it. It didn't work. But alas, I still kind of recovered half decent position. So there you go.
Yeah, some good racing there with Nico and Jesse and co, and even some idiot as well.
Sort of like what I just want to say what I like yesterday. I also had a rather bad race with all the mistakes I did, and I still came out relatively happy for it because I had pace, and yeah, I think that's sort of the same thing for you today.
Well, on to the next one.
Yeah, home GP for you, isn't it? You're British, aren't you?
Me?
Yeah.
I have no label. I am just a human. Too many people see, getting deep here, too many people in the world see race and color and nationality, and I just see human beings. That's all I see.
Rule
All over the world.
Britannia rules the whiz. Home race, lads, come on. Bob, it's like the closest place to you, that, you know, your closest race. You got to call it your home race. Come on, get that British flag flying high, mate.
You know what it's like? It's like
Doesn't sound very British Ocean.
it's like you vote for anyone who England plays in football.
Yeah, of course.
Even if it's like I don't know, someone from Ummagummaland, a team from Ummagummaland, if that even exists, you still support them because it's just the rules. They are the rules.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But I will confess, Silverstone is actually quite fun, and I do like Silverstone.
Yeah, the problem is, like, everybody else likes it as well.
I'll
It's
try to provide you with a drivable setup again, Tipsy, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I have
How
to
that
say,
goes.
Mr. Rice has been an absolute gem. He's been, I don't know, because maybe you just know that I don't really practice that often anymore. He would often send me a wee message, just kind of a guideline on setup. Over the seasons, I've always found ICE's setups to be different from everyone else's, and it kind of suits me as well. I know most people just go to TT and probably pluck the first guy either on the leaderboard or probably the first guy on their friends list. That'll be either Cody or Danny, Gary, or Hugo. Usually it's Hugo people pick. And he does have good setups. Just some races that just don't suit me. It's the driving style. Ices suit me. So yes, Mr. Ice, get those setups on their way to me.
I'll do my best.
Okay, lads. Well, Bob, interesting race from you, but yeah, hopefully better things lie ahead for you. Britain, always an exciting race, and we're going to see that take place. The first race of the next week will be Tuesday, 2 SRL Tier 3, and then the usual afterwards.
Next win.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I would love to win. That'd be brilliant.
Ocean Chief triple for this season.
Yeah, the hat trick. It has to happen. We'll see. There's 11 races left, so let's see.
You've won in every tier so far, Chief, except tier 1. Yeah.
I've won in every single tier apart from tier 1 and tier 2, and any SLR tiers. So essentially one tier, Bob. Thanks.
That's a bit like do you ever remember Nevermind the Buzzcocks all those years ago when Simon Amstel hosted
Yeah.
it?
I love
Fantastic.
that.
You had Preston on it. Your man Preston from the Ordinary Boys.
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
And which he won't be watching. And do you remember the scene whenever he goes, according to Preston, he wrote every single song on his record, apart from song 1, number 2, number 4, number 6, number 8. Remember?
Yeah.
That's basically you. I've won in every single tier except tier 1 in both leagues, tier 2 in both leagues, and any other tier in 2S.
Pretty much, yeah. But thanks for the endorsement, Bob. I appreciate that. You know, bringing me down to earth.
I haven't. I think the only one I've ever won was DMR.
Yeah,
That was
well,
it.
a win's a win. I have never had a league win before, and then 2 this season, so I don't know what's happening. I would credit it all to Ice. He basically told me what to do. I was just like a monkey, just getting commands and inputting them correctly.
Jokingly saying that I count those as like half wins for myself. I actually have 1 win from this season.
Do you channel your inner Sisu to Ice?
Yeah.
Chief,
Indeed.
Sisu.
Yes.
You can hack
so,
it.
That's right.
So on that note, yes, I think we'll call it quits there. It was a great race, an interesting race, very tense one. The weather conditions were crazy, and I expect more of that in Britain. It tends to be, from previous experience in this game, it tends to throw up some wet weather conditions, just like we had this weekend. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That'll be next week. Actually, ACC is tomorrow, so we should give that a wee bit of a plug to SRL ACC tomorrow at 2000 CST, I believe.
What track is it in ACC? Sorry,
I have absolutely no idea. Honestly, no idea about that. You don't race in it? No.
No, I took a step down from a lot of things. I was on the FAA as well. I just took a step back from a lot of things, and the race as well. I just couldn't commit to it, But if I don't know if I'm allowed, I think I still have a slot on it. I might actually, if I'm free, I might try and get a reserve slot.
It looks like Nürburgring. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Just race that they're racing in F1 as well this weekend, so
Oh yes, excellent, good track. Yeah, that final chicane though. Jeez, I've had some nightmares there. But yeah, anyway, well, I think we'll run up the stream there. It's goodbye from myself and Icewind as well. Pleasure doing comms with you, and Bob, thanks for joining us in the commentary booth. Appreciate it.
Pleasure, gentlemen.
Until the next one, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Cheerio.
Good night.